Hi guys, today we're going to react to Shoka by Ado. This is a Buy Me a Coffee request from Tabitha. Thank you, Tabitha, for this request. We appreciate all your support.
Thank you, Tabitha. We appreciate all the support coming from you. You've been absolutely amazing. And thank you for bringing us back to Ado. Let's do it.
が来ること最低0低でありのままのめちゃくちゃな歌詞では救えない命がいくつもある傷つけて傷つけて報われようとしてるのか幸せになれるとか初夏の風にまた宿わされてうぬぼれた笑顔を歌ってしまう正しい答えがわからないだから教えて教えて好きだった言葉は壊されてしまいましたいつか報われると信じていたのに積み上げたこの声はこの世界の世界だ何も知らないその顔が嫌い何十回の死にたいんだ僕はバカだった水たまる箱には傷口を塞ぐためにまた字を繰り返す呆れた横顔夜明け前の夢のできないな言葉を並べても美しく枯れる都会の花火
This is an exhilarating experience. According to Tabitha's notes, Ado wrote this song when she was 16 or 17, and then when she got a little bit older, she altered the lyrics and made this. She both wrote it and composed it. It kind of makes me think about her perspective when she was a teenager. When life hits, it's the age of rebellion. You have all these existential dilemmas. You become smart enough to ask questions about life. She's describing ill feelings in the song. I'm kind of wondering if it's because that's the kind of person she is, or that's coming from happenstance, that's coming from things that went on in her life. I don't know anything about Ado's early life, so I don't know where this song is coming from. I think that's the whole point of reacting to a song, but it piques my curiosity. First of all, the performance itself is mesmerizing. My ears can recognize Ado's texture, and I immediately derive joy from listening to her voice. Regardless of the sentiment of the song, if it's a sad song or a happy song, it doesn't matter. And it makes me think about what was her state of mind when she wrote the song, or when she decided to alter the lyrics and come out with it. This music video is published on her channel at least a year ago, so I'm kind of wondering. We know that she's in her early 20s now. I'm wondering what's going on in her mind, because it sounds like deep subject matter that stem from existential questions and sadness. So curiosity piqued here.
Yeah, I would go ahead and hazard a guess that the subject matter of this song, or the theme or topic of it, she wrote when she was 16 or 17. The changes that she made to it are to somehow make it maybe a little bit more current and to add something about the way she feels about the world right now. I was having a chat with a friend of mine just a few days ago, actually, about teenagers, about how we were when we were teenagers, like writing depressing poetry and stuff like that. And this just sort of came right at the right time, because my friend was asking me about why I think the teenagers are like that. And I said that I think it has something to do with the fact that our intelligence is spiking. We are learning, we're becoming smarter, but our experience is not there yet. So a lot of the times we basically use our intelligence to try to understand things that are happening to us, and we don't realize how unimportant some of those things are at that time, because there's so much more to come and everything seems like the end of the world. So I think that when she wrote this when she was like 16 or 17, there may have been some depressions, all probably temporary at that age, to do with trying to find your place in the world, trying to work out who you are and why you are. Now she's in her early 20s, and whatever she changed here kind of took me to today's world, today's situation. There was a line in there that said, "This voice I've built up is the wrong answer for this world." And I think that it might mean that Ado feels that whoever she is not right for this time in a way. I think she's kind of like maybe ahead of her time, or maybe she belongs in the past, because the present is not the best it could be. The world right now is probably depressing to a lot of people. And I could see that. And that's sort of what I felt came into it from her 20-something-year-old self as compared to her 16, 17-year-old. This song, maybe more so than others, feels unfiltered. It just kind of comes at you, and I think she threw everything into it and is just basically laying it out there. This is how I felt at that time, with a little bit of how I feel right now. But I think it's just really artistic license in a way, because people will tend to take words for more than what they actually mean. It means in this moment, I'm a little bit depressed, I'm sad, I'm feeling like I don't want to be here. And who hasn't said the words I want to die at some point? Whether they meant it or not is a different story. So I'm really enjoying the song for what it is. It sounds fantastic. And I'm enjoying trying to work through the words, you know, the lyrics. There's a lot in there.
Yeah. When we become teenagers, it's like a tornado of emotions. So you become smarter while you're smack dab in the middle of an emotional roller coaster, all these different feelings. And you don't have, as you said, you don't have the experience to understand the things you're feeling and the questions that you have about life, about existence. I think she contemplates her place in the world as just somebody who feels bad for the way things are. It's like the old saying, when you see something wrong with the world, people in need, or you see that the world is hurting, the world doesn't need your tears. It doesn't need you to feel bad for it. It needs your help. I don't know if it's what she meant, but I like to think that she's reviewing her place in the world, and she may be thinking, what I've chosen to do, is that helping anybody? Is that changing the way things are? Like contemplating her role in the world. It also helps shed some light on Ado as an artist, as a songwriter, as a singer. She has things she has to get out. You can get some of the sentiment that goes in her mind to be the catalyst that has brought her to be this artist that we enjoy so much listening to.
Yeah, what you mentioned before, I think it stems from that line that said, there are countless lives that cannot be saved. You realize, yeah, there's problems out there that we can't really do anything about, or that we should try to do something about. That whole pre-chorus sounded like some kind of either self-criticism or criticism at the world. She's saying, by hurting others, are you looking to be rewarded? Saying, just be happy to people who have actual problems. That's just not a real thing to do. Then she says, I end up singing about my arrogant ego. Whenever you create and you put yourself into it, it also feels like maybe you're being a little bit self-centered. She's saying, I don't know the right answer, so tell me. She's frustrated, trying to find her place in the world. And, you know, when I said at that age, it's intelligence, but not yet experience, I think what I meant more than intelligence is probably awareness. Our awareness is growing of the world around us, of who we are, or a little bit, not enough, I guess, what we are maybe trying to do, what we should be trying to do, but we don't have the experience to match that yet. So it's a mess of confusion, which explains this, I guess, in a way. And again, we might be way off, but who knows?
Yeah, we mentioned before, she's in her early 20s. To come up with a song like that is indicative of her thought process. It's like the opposite of self-centered. She's able to think about what she seems like from the side. She's saying, who cares about what I have to say when people are hurting? And that shows, as you said, self-awareness. She's becoming more and more aware of the real world that she's living in, and she's contemplating if her art is helping anybody. She's questioning her own importance in the ether of life.
Yeah, and when you think about it, it's like if she wrote this when she was 16 and then she went back to it when she was 23, that's like a third of her life later. And if we do that kind of thing, if say we wrote some poetry when we were teenagers and then we go back to it later in life, or even a script, you look at it and you go, huh, yeah, geez, I was so inexperienced back then to make that mistake. Let me correct that. So when she now kind of looks at her own lyrics and tweaks them, it might have something to do with that. And that line kind of made me think about that, about writing about her arrogant self. It's as if she's criticizing her younger self.
Yeah, it's like you have the artist and the critic merged into the same song.
Yeah, with a few years of added experience.
Yeah, and because we're talking about the same person, it's the artist and its worst critic merged together in the same song.
葉になるなら教えて教えて教えて答えて好きだったあの人も僕を救わないないつか報われると信じていたのにいつの日にか描いた未来はとに過去になって何も知らないだからここで歌う何十回何百何千回だって息をしては何千回何万何回だって叫んだんだ
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
We talked about certain things, what we think she thought. We talked about different points, and there was a section in the song where she is in a cage in like the staple area where she performs as a silhouette in a cage, and she was in a red ocean. To me, at least, it meant that in a world full of pain, the only thing she can do is share her art, share her music with the world, and she's contemplating if that's enough. And the whole song is built in a way that she mainly asks questions. We don't know who she asks, if it's God, if it's somebody in her life. It feels like she's helpless to do anything else but her music, and it's bothering her if that's enough. It's introspection in the form of a song that has a lag of years. You can sense the development from her teenage years to where she is now. So there's something beautiful about it, and humble, of course. It makes you like her even more as a performer, as an artist.
Yeah, maybe even more so. There's something genuine, honest about it. And I don't know, I found this song, especially certain spots in the lyrics, just really moving, beautifully written, even though it's a translation. The chorus, it said, words I couldn't say before keep pouring out endlessly. Even if the wishes are granted, nothing really changes. Promises once made get forgotten. And then she says, unable to hold back. I'm here alone, no matter how many times, thousands, won't you kill me? That line of promises once made get forgotten. That's something that probably happens to everyone growing up. Promises you made to yourself, promises you made to friends or young lovers or whatever, and they do get forgotten because time passes and things change and people move on. And sometimes the people who were promised and the other did not deliver get left behind wondering, should I just let it go? Should I just forget about this? Or should this promise have been fulfilled? It's a tough thing to handle sometimes. She says, if ethics create reasoning, is this hoarse voice righteousness? Basically saying, just because I'm always like yelling about this, does that make me right? Because I'm losing my voice over it? That's what it sounded like to me. If correctness always turns into kindness. It's a question because then she says, tell me, answer me. Really beautiful, really profound, I thought. I think there's like a lot of sadness and frustration, but there's also a conversation, I think, between current Ado and her younger self, which is really, really interesting. I always said I find her to be a true artist, and this song is probably cemented that even more for me.
Yeah, same. It's enjoyable to think about that as a prolific artist. She's always on. She always works. Then she stops in the middle of everything and she asks, "What am I doing? Am I making the world a better place? What is this about? Let's ask some questions." It's not a form of self-reassurance. She's looking for that truth. And there's another thing in here you said about broken promises. It's like she has come to a realization from where she is now that putting your faith in other people will likely set you up to be disappointed. Almost always, not because people are not genuine, but because people are flawed for many different reasons. The reasons that have nothing to do with their character, but it's like that. Hanging your entire faith on other people, it's not a good idea for you to hang on. Coming to that realization also it has an immense amount of sadness in it because it's another stage in growing older.
Yeah, and there's also like those elements of self-loathing that are in there. It feels like it's coming from what you're talking about, coming from some kind of doubt where you're not exactly at a crossroads, but say, look, you're an artist and you're kind of wondering, am I an artist? Am I doing this for the money and the fame? Or am I doing this because I'm a true artist? So all these kind of questions, and she wants answers, but there aren't necessarily answers out there, or the answers can change from day to day. So it's an interesting thing to kind of put all that into a song. Like I said, there's a lot in there. There's a lot of doubt and despair and everything, but it just, Ado makes everything sound beautiful.
Yeah, well, I'm 45, and chronologically speaking, to me, Ado is a kid. She's an extremely young person, and to be repeatedly humbled, not just by her music and her prowess, but by her thought processes. I don't remember thinking like that when I was her age. That's something to think about from where we stand.
Yeah, it's quite astounding, really. So it's not just talent and the skill, it's also her brain. There's something there of a creative artist that knows how to put it all together. This song, like I said, just kind of reaffirms all that. Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah. And also like declares that she's grounded. She's not in her own head. She's connected. You get the feeling that what you'll see from her will have that introspection, will have that self-criticism, not as a bad thing, but as a form of reevaluating. You know, Ado reevaluates herself every so often.
Yeah, it's something that we've alluded to in the past, but haven't talked about in this kind of detail, which is, yeah, it's really cool. Another banger, beautiful song. And yeah, I don't know. I really love her stuff. This was fantastic. Thank you, Tabitha, for this awesome request. We appreciate you bringing us back to Ado, which you tend to do on a regular basis, and we are not complaining. So thank you so much for all your support. We appreciate you.
Thanks, Tabitha, for this Ado request. We enjoy reacting to Ado always. More like this will be much appreciated, and thank you for your support. If you enjoyed this episode, guys, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click the little bell icon so you get notified on all our future videos. If you have a song in mind you'd like us to react to, please make a request through Buy Me a Coffee. The link is at the top of the description below. Thank you all for sticking with us. Thank you all for your time.
As always, our Ado Reactions playlist should be up on the screen sometime about now. Give it a click, check it out. There's awesome, awesome stuff in there. She is absolutely amazing. Thank you again, guys, for all the support you're throwing our way. We appreciate you. We'll be back in a couple of days with a new episode. We hope to see you all then. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.